Hi, I'm Nora. I bought my three-bedroom house in the suburbs 5 years ago when I was 28. Saved every penny from my job as a software engineer, skipped vacations, drove a beat-up Honda for 8 years, and finally scraped together enough for a down payment. The day I got the keys, I called my sister Madison to celebrate. "You actually did it?" Madison's voice crackled through the phone. "Wow, must be nice being single with no responsibilities." "What's that supposed to mean?" Nothing. I'm happy for you, really. Just saying it's easier when you don't have 3 kids to feed." I let it slide. Madison always had a way of turning my accomplishments into commentary about her struggles. She'd married her high school boyfriend at 19, had 3 kids by 25, and seemed perpetually stressed about money. 6 months later, Madison showed up at my front door with her kids, Emma, Jake, and little Sophie. "Can we stay here tonight?" she asked, not quite meeting my eyes. "Derek and I had a huge fight. I just need some space." "Of course, come in." The kids ran through my house like it was a playground. Emma, the oldest at 12, immediately claimed the guest bedroom. "This is so much nicer than our house. You're so lucky, Aunt Nora." "I worked really hard for it," I said, picking up a lamp Sophie had nearly knocked over. Madison settled into my couch with a sigh. "You know, this place is way too big for just you. It's 3 bedrooms, that's pretty standard. Still, 3 bedrooms for one person? Meanwhile, we're crammed into that tiny rental with 1 bathroom." She looked around my living room with an expression I couldn't quite read. "Seems unfair, doesn't it?" "Madison, I saved for years." "I'm not criticizing, just making an observation." She smiled, but it didn't reach her eyes. "You're really lucky you don't have kids. Makes everything so much easier." They stayed for 3 days. When Derek finally showed up to take them home, Madison lingered at my doorway. "Thanks for letting us crash here. The kids loved it. Emma kept saying she wished this was our house." "Anytime you need help, I'm here." "That's good to know." She paused, then added, "Because family should help family, right? Especially when some of us have so much more than others." Something in her tone made my stomach tighten, but I brushed it off. 2 months later, my mom called. "Nora, honey, I need to talk to you about something Madison said." "What now?" "She mentioned you might be open to reconsidering the ownership of your house." Mom's voice was careful, measured. "She said with her growing family, they really need more space, and since you're alone—" "What?" "Mom, that's my house. I'm not reconsidering anything." I know, I told her that. But she seemed so convinced you'd offered to help somehow. She said you two had talked about it. We never talked about anything like that. She stayed here for 3 days. That's it." "Well, she's been telling the whole family that you acknowledged how unfair it was for you to have 3 bedrooms while she has 3 kids in a 2-bedroom rental." Mom sighed. "I wanted to hear your side before things got out of hand." My hands were shaking. "Mom, I never said anything like that." "I believe you. But Madison's very persuasive. She's got your Aunt Carol thinking you're being selfish." "Selfish? I bought this house with my money." "I know, sweetie. I'm on your side. I just thought you should know what's being said." After hanging up, I sat in my living room, in my house, feeling violated. My phone buzzed. A text from Madison. "Hey, can we talk? Come over for dinner tomorrow?" I arrived at Madison's rental the next evening, my jaw tight with tension. Derek opened the door, looking uncomfortable. "Hey, Nora, Madison's in the kitchen. Fair warning, she's been on edge all day." Madison was stirring pasta, her back to me. "Oh, good, you came. Sit down. We need to have a serious conversation." "Yeah, we do. Mom called me." She spun around. "Of course she did. Did she tell you how I've been struggling? How we can barely afford this place? How the kids share a bedroom?" "Madison, that's not my fault." "I'm not saying it's your fault. God, why do you always get so defensive?" She slammed the spoon down. "I'm just saying that you have resources I don't have. You have space. 3 whole bedrooms, Nora. 3. That I paid for. With money you earned because you don't have kids. Do you know what childcare costs? What 3 kids cost?" Her voice rose. Meanwhile, you're living in luxury. It's a modest suburban house, while my children share a bedroom, while we can barely make rent, and you can't even see how selfish that is? Derek cleared his throat from the doorway. Madison, maybe we should calm down. Stay out of this, Derek. She turned back to me, her eyes wild. I'm the oldest. I was always supposed to have more, to do better. But you got the good job, the nice house, everything. Because you didn't have responsibilities. It's not fair. Life isn't fair, I said, standing up. But that doesn't mean you get to claim what's mine. I'm not claiming anything. I'm asking my sister to do the right thing, to recognize that my family needs that house more than you do. No. No? Just no? You won't even consider it? There's nothing to consider, Madison. It's my house. She laughed bitterly. Of course. Of course you'd choose a house over your own nieces and nephew, over your sister. That's not what I'm doing. That's exactly what you're doing. She was screaming now. You know what? Get out. Get out of my house. I left, shaking. Derek followed me to my car. Nora, I'm sorry. She's been obsessed with this for months. Ever since that first visit. He ran his hand through his hair. I told her it was crazy, but she keeps saying you owe her somehow. That you should give her the house, or at least sell it to us way below market value. Derek, I can't. I know you can't. I'm not asking you to. I'm just warning you. She's not going to let this go. The next week, my Aunt Carol called. Nora, I think you need to reconsider your position. Madison has children. 3 beautiful children who need space and stability. You're being incredibly selfish. Aunt Carol, that house is mine. I worked for it. Oh, please. You worked for it? Madison works too. She works twice as hard as you because she has a family to care for. She has real responsibilities, not just a career. My career pays for my house. Your career, that's all you care about, isn't it? Not family, not helping those who need it, just yourself. Her voice dripped with contempt. I raised you better than this, Nora. Or at least I thought I did. You didn't raise me at all, Aunt Carol. And you don't get a say in what I do with my property. She hung up on me. My best friend Rachel came over that night with wine. Okay, explain this to me again, she said, pouring us both a glass. Your sister thinks she deserves your house because she has kids? Apparently having children means you're entitled to other people's property. That's insane. Like, certifiably insane. Rachel took a long drink. What are you going to do? I don't know. Half my family thinks I'm a terrible person now. Madison's turned this into some kind of moral crusade. You need to protect yourself, legally, I mean. What if she tries something? Like what? I don't know. But people get crazy about property. Maybe talk to a lawyer? Just to be safe? I met with an attorney the following Monday. Robert Chen listened to my story with a deepening frown. Has she made any specific threats? He asked. Not exactly, just keeps insisting the house should be hers, trying to turn my family against me. Document everything, every conversation, every text, every email. If she escalates, you might need a restraining order. A restraining order? She's my sister. She's someone who believes she has a claim to your property and is becoming increasingly aggressive about it. Trust me, I've seen this before. Family disputes over property can get very ugly very fast. 2 weeks later, I came home from work to find Madison's car in my driveway. She was sitting on my porch with the kids. What are you doing here? We need to talk. Really talk. She stood up. Kids, go play in the backyard. Once they were gone, she turned to me with tears in her eyes. Nora, please, I'm begging you. We got an eviction notice. Derek lost his job. We have nowhere to go. I'm sorry, Madison. I really am, but nothing. This house has 3 bedrooms. You don't need 3 bedrooms. We need this. My children need this. Her voice cracked. Why can't you just be generous? Why can't you just help us? I can help in other ways. I don't want other ways. I want this house. I deserve this house. The tears were gone now, replaced by fury. I'm the older sister. I'm the one with a family. I'm the one who needs it. You're just living here alone like some selfish, pathetic... Get off my property. This should be my property. This whole situation is wrong and everyone knows it. Aunt Carol knows it. Uncle Mike knows it. Even Mom knows it. She's just too afraid to say it. Madison, leave. Now. No, not until you see reason. She grabbed my arm hard. You're going to give me this house. You're going to do the right thing. Because if you don't, I'll make your life hell. I'll turn everyone against you. I'll make sure the whole family knows what a selfish, horrible person you are. I pulled my arm free. You need to leave right now. Or what? You'll call the cops on your own sister? On your nieces and nephew? She laughed harshly. Go ahead, show everyone what you really are. Kids? I called out. Your mom is leaving. We're not going anywhere, Madison shouted. This is going to be our house. I'm not leaving. I pulled out my phone and dialed 911. Madison's eyes widened. You're really calling? You're really doing this? This is my house. I'm asking you to leave and you're refusing. Yes, I'm calling. Fine, fine, she screamed so loudly I flinched. But this isn't over. You hear me? This isn't over. She stormed to the backyard. Kids, we're leaving. Your aunt doesn't want us here because she's a selfish, mean person who doesn't care about family. Emma looked at me with hurt, confused eyes as they left. I heard Madison's car peel out of the driveway, heard her screaming something I couldn't make out. The police arrived 10 minutes later. I explained the situation to Officer Williams, a middle-aged woman with kind eyes. Has she made any physical threats? She asked. She grabbed my arm pretty hard, refused to leave when I asked, said she'd make my life hell. I'd recommend filing for a restraining order and document everything, texts, calls, visits, everything. If she comes back, call us immediately. That night, Madison sent 50 text messages, each one more unhinged than the last. You'll regret this. Everyone will know what you did. You chose a house over your family. I hope you're happy living there alone forever. You're dead to me. The kids are crying because of you. This is all your fault. I saved every single one. The restraining order was granted 3 days later. Madison violated it within 12 hours, showing up at my workplace. You can't do this, she screamed in the parking lot as my coworkers stared. You can't just shut me out. I'm your sister. Security called the police. Madison was arrested for violating the restraining order. My mom called that evening. Nora, she's in jail. They're charging her. This has gone too far. She showed up at my work, Mom. She won't stop. She's desperate. She's scared. Can't you find it in your heart to... To what? Give her my house? That's what this is really about, isn't it? I felt tears burning. Why does everyone think I should just hand over what I worked for? Nobody thinks that. Well, not nobody, but... Look, she's struggling and you have resources. So I should be punished for being responsible? For not having kids I couldn't afford? For saving my money instead of spending it? That's not fair. None of this is fair, Mom. She's the one who's being unfair. She's the one who decided she deserved my house just because she has kids. I was shouting now. And you know what the worst part is? You all acted like she had a point, like maybe she did deserve it more. Like I'm the bad guy for saying no to something completely insane. Mom was quiet for a long moment. You're right. I'm sorry. I let Madison's manipulation cloud my judgment. She's always been good at that, making her problems everyone else's responsibility. Thank you. That actually means a lot. Madison pleaded guilty to violating the restraining order. She got probation and mandatory counseling. Derek filed for divorce 2 months later. He apologized to me through a text message. I'm sorry for not standing up to her sooner. She wasn't always like this. Or maybe she was and I didn't want to see it. 6 months after everything fell apart, Madison sent a letter to my house. The restraining order had expired. Dear Nora, I've been in therapy. I've been working on myself. I realize now that I was wrong to put that pressure on you. I was in a dark place and I took it out on you. I hope we can rebuild our relationship. Can we meet for coffee? I really want to apologize properly. Love, Madison. I read it 3 times. Then I wrote back, Madison, I appreciate that you're getting help. But no, we can't meet for coffee. We can't rebuild our relationship. You didn't just put pressure on me. You tried to take my house. You turned my family against me. You harassed me, threatened me, and refused to accept that I have a right to my own property. You got arrested because you couldn't respect a legal order to stay away from me. That's not a dark place. That's who you chose to be. I hope therapy helps you understand what you did and why it was wrong. But I don't want you in my life anymore. I don't forgive you. I won't forget. And we're done. Nora. Rachel came over that night. We sat in my living room, my beautiful, hard-earned living room. How do you feel? She asked. Free, actually. Like I finally cut off something toxic. I looked around at my space. This house represents everything I worked for. My independence, my success, my choices. And I almost let someone take that from me just because we share DNA. You stood your ground. A lot of people wouldn't have. A lot of people don't have to. Normal families don't act like this. I smiled. But I'm okay. Better than okay. I love this house. I earned it, and it's mine. Rachel raised her glass. To standing your ground. To standing my ground. The house still feels like home, even more so now that I don't have to defend my right to it. Madison's out of my life. Aunt Carol doesn't speak to me, but honestly, that's fine. Mom comes over for dinner sometimes, and we're slowly rebuilding our relationship on my terms. I'm not lonely in my 3-bedroom house. I'm free. Have you ever had a family member try to claim something that was rightfully yours? How did you handle it? Drop a comment below and don't forget to like and subscribe for more real stories about standing up for yourself when family crosses the line. Sometimes the hardest boundaries to set are with the people who are supposed to love us unconditionally. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't set them.